What if I told you that the story of China, one of the world's oldest civilizations, is filled with legendary emperors, mighty inventions, devastating wars, and revolutions that reshaped the planet? From the misty dawn of prehistory to the towering skylines of modern Beijing and Shanghai, China's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. A story of power, resilience, and transformation that has lasted over 5,000 years. So, let's step back in time and uncover the incredible saga of China, a nation that has shaped the very fabric of human civilization. Ancient beginnings, the birth of civilization, c. 5000, 2070 BCE. Our story begins along the Yellow River, often called the cradle of Chinese civilization. Here, ancient farmers from the Yangshao and Longshan cultures built early villages, mastered agriculture, and developed pottery, weaving, and animal domestication. Legend speaks of divine rulers like the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors, mythical figures who taught humanity the arts of farming, medicine, and morality. And then came Yu the Great, the legendary founder of the Zhou dynasty, said to be the first dynasty in Chinese history, around 2070 BCE. Though shrouded in myth, the Zhou set the stage for what would become one of the longest continuous civilizations in human history. The Shang and Zhou dynasties, the foundations of Chinese culture, 1600–256 BCE. The Shang dynasty, 1600–1046 BCE, brought writing, bronze craftsmanship, and complex urban centers. Oracle bones, inscribed with early Chinese characters, offer a window into the ancient world of kings, rituals, and ancestor worship. Then came the Zhou dynasty, 1046–256 BCE, which introduced one of the most important ideas in Chinese philosophy, the mandate of heaven. The belief that rulers were chosen by divine approval, but could lose that right if they became corrupt. This idea would echo through every dynasty that followed. The Zhou era also birthed Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism, philosophies that shaped Chinese thought, governance, and spirituality for millennia. The Warring States and the rise of the first emperor, 475–221 BCE. As Zhou power weakened, China fractured into rival states, leading to a brutal period known as the Warring States era. 7 powerful kingdoms fought for supremacy, until one man changed everything. In 2021 BCE, Qin Shi Huang, the king of Qin, conquered all others and declared himself China's first emperor. He unified the empire, standardized currency, weights, and even the written script. And in one of history's greatest feats, he began building the Great Wall of China to defend against northern invaders. But his rule was harsh. Books were burned, scholars were silenced, and his obsession with immortality led to tyranny. After his death, the Qin dynasty crumbled within years. Yet the foundation of a unified China had been laid forever. The Han dynasty, the Golden Age of Empire, 206 BCE, 220 CE. Then came the Han dynasty, the Golden Age of Chinese civilization. Under emperors like Han Wudi, China expanded its borders, established the Silk Road, and connected East and West in one of the earliest examples of globalization. Silk, spices, and ideas flowed between China, Persia, and Rome. Confucianism became the official ideology, art and science flourished, and Chinese inventions like paper revolutionized the world. But as time passed, corruption and peasant uprisings, like the Yellow Turban Rebellion, led to the fall of the Han. China broke apart once more into chaos. The Age of Division and the Tang Renaissance, 220–1279 CE. After centuries of division, the Sui dynasty briefly reunited China in 581 CE, constructing the Grand Canal to link the north and south. Yet it was the Tang dynasty, 618–907, that truly marked a rebirth. The Tang era was a time of poetry, prosperity, and power. The capital, Chang'an, was the largest city in the world, a dazzling hub of trade, culture, and diplomacy. Figures like Li Bai and Du Fu defined Chinese literature, while Buddhism spread and blended with native traditions. After the Tang, the Song dynasty, 960–1279, ushered in a new kind of brilliance, technological and cultural. The Chinese invented gunpowder, the compass, movable type printing, and advanced shipbuilding. China's economy became the most advanced on Earth, and its cities bustled with merchants and scholars. The Mongol invasion and the Yuan dynasty, 1271–1368. Then, thunder came from the north. Genghis Khan and his Mongol armies swept across Asia, and by 1271, his grandson Kublai Khan established the Yuan dynasty in China, the first time China was ruled by foreigners. Kublai moved the capital to Beijing and welcomed travelers like Marco Polo, who marveled at China's wealth and organization. But Mongol rule was heavy and foreign, and resentment grew. Rebellion erupted, led by a peasant named Zhou Yuanzhang, who overthrew the Yuan and founded a new native dynasty, the Ming. The Ming Dynasty, Great Walls and Great Voyages, 1368–1644. The Great Wall was rebuilt and expanded, and China's naval power reached legendary heights under Admiral Zheng He, whose massive treasure fleets sailed across the Indian Ocean, decades before Columbus ever set sail. Beijing's Forbidden City, an architectural masterpiece, symbolized imperial might. But as the Ming rulers turned inward, corruption and isolation weakened the empire. When famine and rebellion struck, the Manchus from the northeast invaded and founded China's final imperial dynasty, the Qing. The Qing dynasty, glory, decline, and revolution, 1644–1912. The Qing dynasty, 1644–1912, expanded China's borders to their greatest extent, ruling over Tibet, Mongolia, Xinjiang, and Taiwan. Under emperors like Kangxi and Qianlong, the empire prospered. Yet in the 19th century, the world changed. Western powers, fueled by industrialization, sought to dominate Asia. The Opium Wars, 1839–1842 and 1856–1860, humiliated China, forcing it to sign unequal treaties and open ports to foreign control. The Taiping Rebellion, one of the bloodiest civil wars in history, killed over 20 million people. As the Qing weakened, reformers and revolutionaries rose. In 1911, the last emperor, a child named Puyi, was overthrown, ending over 2,000 years of imperial rule. The Republic and the Rise of Communism, 1912–1949. The new Republic of China, led by Sun Yat-sen, promised democracy and modernization. But the nation soon fell into chaos. Warlords ruled different regions, and Japan invaded in the 1930s, leading to brutal occupation during World War II. After Japan's defeat, civil war erupted between Chiang Kai-shek's nationalists and Mao Zedong's communists. In 1949, Mao declared victory, and the People's Republic of China was born. Modern China. Revolution, Reform, and Rise. 1949, present. The early years under Mao were marked by radical change, land reforms, industrialization, and campaigns like the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution, which caused immense suffering and upheaval. After Mao's death in 1976, Deng Xiaoping emerged, introducing economic reforms that opened China to the world. Under his policy of socialism with Chinese characteristics, China shifted toward a market economy, sparking decades of explosive growth. By the 21st century, China had transformed from an isolated agrarian nation into a global superpower, leading in technology, trade, and infrastructure. Cities like Shanghai and Shenzhen became symbols of modern innovation, while ancient traditions still pulsed beneath the surface. From the mud huts of the Yellow River to the neon towers of Shanghai, China's story is one of survival, reinvention, and relentless ambition. It has faced invaders, revolutions, and revolts, yet it always rises again. So, after 5,000 years of glory and struggle, one question remains: where will China's story go next?